Good evening, everybody. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up. Mother Brown, we are back once again for another Premier League tie. This time it's the Hammers hosting high-flying Newcastle United, currently going for a Champions League spot in a not too dissimilar position to that which West Ham found themselves in 12 months ago. Although it's quite a different scenario right now. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Let's have your score predictions, as we said there on the screen. I'll be with you in just a second. I should begin by running with the caveat that my broadband has been very, very iffy in the last 24 hours or so. Hi, hello, and consequently, there may be a few issues with the live commentary tonight. I say this just as that's exactly what's happened. I've lost my stream, so hopefully we'll be able to get that back up and running again pretty soon. But anyway, how are you all doing? Are you all good? Have you had a good few days since West Ham's last outing? Of course, that 1-0 win against Southampton wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing performance you might be able to recall from the team, but win's a win, right? In these circumstances, and they were certainly a much-needed points that the Hammers put on the board against the Saints. Took us up to 14th in the Premier League, down currently to 15th because of Leeds' 2-1 win against Forest last night. But in a not bad position anyway going into this one. Of course, a win tonight would put us up on 30 points, which would be very, very welcome with one or two very tricky fixtures coming up, and obviously that run into the end of the season, the Conference League and all that. So yeah, a win would certainly be good tonight. But of course, let's not forget that this is a Newcastle team that's only been beaten 3 times, I think, in the league so far this season. So good side indeed. Anyway, the game is underway. My stream has decided to kick off again. I'm happy to say that we're back underway. It is 0-0, only a minute or so gone in the game, and my stream's frozen again. So I hope you're all having a little bit better luck than I am this evening so far. As I said, my broadband's been very, very dodgy in the last few days. Out here in the sticks on the at the best occasions, we don't get particularly good service. So yeah, it's not great anyway. Now, I'm obviously playing catch up to some of you. It's only 28 seconds or so gone on my stream, and I know I'm a little bit behind, but there's a bit of action about to come. So my stream's gone down again. Anyway, it looks like West Ham have just hit the post. According to Dave O'Rourke, Declan Rice shot from just outside the box. Let's have a little refresh, see if we can get something going, because it's very unusual that my stream is this poor. And if this is how it stays, I might have to call it a day, but because it's a bit difficult to report in a game you can't actually see. So we'll see what happens. But let's just try another couple. So apologies to everyone for this service or lack of. It's not usually this bad, but yeah. The networks are having fun by the looks of it with the streams tonight. None available as we speak. Let's have a quick look at your predictions while we're waiting to get that stream up and running tonight. Steve Palmer going for a 3-0 defeat. Alf Gunnett's ex-missus going for a 2-1 defeat. 1-1 draw for David O'Rourke. 10 men at the back, no one in attack. Also going for a 1-1 draw. Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind before the game. It's the kind of game where I think a draw, it wouldn't really suit either team, but I don't think, you know, either would be too disappointed with a point from this one. Of course, West Ham, it keeps the momentum going. For Newcastle, it's taken a point closer to that Champions League spot that they're desperately seeking. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Steve, you may need to commentate for me at this rate because I've got absolutely nothing, no stream. I've got 3 different options. I rarely, if ever, need a second. But at the moment, I've got no action whatsoever from all 3. So it looks like someone's doing a sterling job blocking the feeds tonight. But anyway, I'll come back to that in a minute. 0-0. Apparently, it wasn't anyone hitting the post. West Ham have a corner, though. Mark Pierce tells us. Looks like it's a short one. But a positive start anyway from West Ham, right? Everyone watching this will be pleased, no doubt, with what we've got so far, how we've started. Let's have a quick look. What have we got here? Have we got a stream back? Oh, I'm just seeing the corner coming by the looks of it. Now, how long is this going to last for? Emerson taking the corner, plays it short into Benrahma, and it's blocked. So I am possibly some considerable time behind you guys watching. If you're watching a stream anyway, I may be some time behind, but anyway, just turn it off or pretend you haven't heard what's happened already. Yeah, very good start from West Ham so far. Shot dragged across goal by Jarrod Bowen there. Decent effort from just outside the box from Bowen. I should get my notepad out, really. I should, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to look back at the game and tell you exactly what's happened when we come to do our half-time or post-match assessment. Let's see if we can find a blank page. And once again, not terribly well prepared for this. But anyway, 4 minutes gone on the KUMB stream. It's West Ham United 0, Newcastle United 0. The Hammers team you can see up there behind me. Fabianski back in goal again. It's Kera and Emerson at fullback with Agerd and Zuma for only the 4th time, I believe, starting the Premier League game together. The previous 3 have resulted in 2 wins and a draw. So unbeaten with those 2 starting alongside each other in the Premier League. So hopefully that continues tonight. In the centre, the tried and trusted triumvirate of Rice, Souček and Paquetá, with a similar trio up top of Antonio starting in the middle instead of Danny Ings. One change there, Bowen and Benrahma flanking the experienced striker. Now we've just seen Thilo Kehrer rather unnecessarily give away a corner. And it's bad news, I'm afraid, because I'm seeing on another feed I have, Twitter, that Newcastle have just taken the lead in the 6th minute. So let's... I won't tell you who it was in case you haven't seen it yet, but there's no surprises about the goal scorer. So let's keep an eye on this. Bad start for West Ham this evening, by the looks of it. But anyway, on the stream, it's a Newcastle corner. It's Trippier lining up to take it. Both hands go up in the air from the England fullback. Delivers to the far post. It's headed out by Emerson, I think it was. But so Maximan delivers the ball back into the centre, and Callum Wilson gets up unmarked and nods it into the far post. And that is 1-0 to Newcastle. Yeah. 11 goals in 13 appearances against West Ham now for Callum Wilson, who's nodded the visitors into the lead in the 6th minute. It's poor from West Ham. Just now, you know, we'll look at this, and if West Ham go on to lose this, I'm sure that David Moyes will get all the pelters. But how, you know, a goal like that can be blamed upon the manager? I mean, you've got Zuma is 2 yards off Wilson. We know what a danger Callum Wilson presents in the box for West Ham. And Wilson and Zuma and Agerd are just... Let's have another look at the cross coming in. Yeah, Agerd and Zuma are just ball watching. Neither of them have tried to pick up Wilson. Point being, that's a player error. You know, you manage as a coach, you can set your team up as best you can, but if the players aren't doing the fundamentals right, that's what happens, and that's hugely disappointing start for West Ham. But it's 1-0. And yet again, the Hammers got it all to do. And of course, going up against a team that have only lost 3 games in the league this season. Obviously, buoyed by that early goal, it's just made our task even more difficult. But anyway, hello everyone. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. West Ham behind already. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Stevie Palmer says that's good for my fantasy side. Just swapped him back in for this game. Well, that's good news for you, Steve. Every cloud and all that, I suppose. Just seeing West Ham attacking. Ben Rama trying to puts across. It's looped up, and Pope just kind of punches it away. And Tilo Kehrer has sort of thrown himself to the floor in an attempt to win a free kick, and the linesman quite rightly hasn't bought that at all. But here we go again, playing catch up once again in the Premier League, as has been the case for much of the season. The ball's deep in Newcastle's territory. West Ham putting a bit of pressure on, but nothing to come. I'll be interested to see what happens here, because will Newcastle look for a second, or will they try and sit and just take the pressure off this game and let West Ham throw at them what they've got, which has been very little, of course, so far. Hammer's one of the lowest scoring teams in the Premier League so far this season. Newcastle breaking again, ball played out onto the left-hand side. So Maximin plays it into the channel for Joe Linton, who pulls it across, but half cleared out by Declan Rice. Ball delivered back in. Rice there again to get it clear, but West Ham can't get hold of the ball. It's all Newcastle at the moment. So Maximin up against Kehrer, goes to the byline, pulls the ball back. Decent cross, but there's no one there. Kehrer's got to be better than that. Again, there's another example. Little things, you can work on the training ground all week about cutting those crosses out. And if a player's not doing his job, then that's what happens, which is disappointing. Anyway, Michail Antonio is on the deck, touching his face right now. Didn't see the incident that led to that, but we shall see. It's Shah who's gone round him and just, he's actually put his right hand across Antonio's face and then come round with the other one with a shot. It's an elbow, isn't it? No, his kind of elbow's gone back into Antonio's face. That is pretty accidental. I think, I'm not sure there's much in it. Mickey Antonio's up, having a conversation with Shah. Shah apologising, saying he didn't realise what he'd done, and fair enough. Really looked like an accident. Nothing really in it, but David Earl pointed out that it was Kehrer's header back to or attempted header back to Fabianski that gave away the corner in the first place. That's this kind of emphasises what I'm saying about the players. It's the coach can do everything he possibly can in the training ground. If you get basic fundamental errors like that, you piece them together. First of all, the header, conceding that corner unnecessarily, then not picking up Wilson deadly in the 6-yard box. It's football basics. The players shouldn't need to be told to do things like this. But I'm fairly certain David Moyes and his crew wouldn't have been telling the players to leave Callum Wilson, an experienced striker, of his standing unmarked in the 6-yard box inside the opening 6 minutes. But anyway, this is where we are. No point complaining about it. It's happened. We need the Hammers to get back into this game, and fairly soon, I'd imagine, because I suspect the crowd were getting restless, weren't they, on Saturday? For those of you who were there, after sort of 15, 20 minutes, a bit disappointed with the way West Ham were playing, and the goal came at exactly the right moment because it gave the team a little bit of relief. Just seeing West Ham win a free kick, side Ben Rama tripped by Murphy. We're with the team being a goal behind, that angst and sort of measure of disappointment may perhaps come a little bit earlier. So, but anyway, we'll see. Long time to go yet. 11 minutes gone. Hopeless, says Hobo, in reference to David's comment about Kehrer's header. I should say, doesn't mean David's comment was hopeless, but the header itself. AGXM said no idea who was supposed to be on Callum Wilson. Mark Pearce also. Poor. Someone should have been on him. Should have been one of the two centre halves, you would imagine, with the cross coming in from that angle. But neither of them picking him up. 5 minutes since that goal, and West Ham haven't really produced anything. A little bit shell-shocked. Newcastle on the ball now, but maybe this will have benefits in that perhaps West Ham are forced to come out and attack a little bit more. We'll see. Anyway, looks like we might have a second effort coming now, and Joe Linton's gone round Fabianski, put the ball into the back of net. I mean, he looks a mile offside, but we're just going to find out right now. I mean, Joe Linton's not exactly celebrating as if it's a legitimate. The linesman has his flag up, so it looks like it's going to be disallowed. But, you know, West Ham got to be careful. It's a good run by Joe Linton. He's made the break between Kehrer and Zuma, neither of whom are reacting. And it's just a direct ball through the middle that Joe Linton's run onto and tucked into the back of the net. And West Ham have got to wake up here. The defence are half asleep. Now, there is a VAR check because Emerson, I think, is playing Joe Linton marginally. He could be playing him on side. Now, let's have a look at this. Emerson is about a yard or so behind the rest of his defence. Now, he looks slightly concerned because given that, I think Joe Linton might be on. Now, you guys are ahead of me. Yeah, I know I'm looking at this. The steal that VAR is showing, and it looks to me like he's on. If he's on, that's 2-0, and that's pretty much curtains for West Ham already in this one. But I mean, it's dreadful. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm looking at the position of Kurt Zuma there, flat-footed, not even side on, can't go either way. I don't think he's even aware that Joe Linton is coming in. He's clearly onside. I mean, Joe Linton is clearly onside. That's going to stand, and that's going to be a second goal for Newcastle. I mean, I think Joe Linton also thought it was a mile offside, but that's going to be given if that's where we're taking the decision from. Yeah, it stood. It's 2-0. And West Ham are in disarray here, absolute disarray. It's 2-0 to the visitors, and we've not even played, 12 minutes on the clock. Stony-faced Davy Moyes and Kevin Noble on the bench, and so they should be. But again, you know, I mean, I'm seeing comments that the cyber leader, WHUFC, whoever that is, welcome to the stream, not seen you before, but saying get him out. I'm presuming this is a reference to Moyes. You can't blame Moyes for these basic errors. You just cannot blame the man. The first goal, Kehrer completely unnecessarily conceding the corner. The cross comes in from the right. Nobody picking up Callum Wilson. The two centre-halves absolutely asleep. And this one, it's a long punt from the back. I mean, you've got Kurt Zuma flat-footed. I mean, it's basic. This is Sunday League stuff. You know, if you're a centre-half, you don't stand flat-footed when there's a ball being played over the top. You're on your side, so you can go backwards or forwards, you know. And they haven't reacted. I mean, I don't even think Zuma is aware that Joe Linton's coming from behind. Kehrer's not even seen him. He's not tracked the run. These are fundamental, basic errors. And you can only blame the players for you know, I mean, you can, all right, if you want, you can blame the coaching team for affording Newcastle the opportunity to pass that ball there. No pressure, no closing down from the top. Fair enough. You can't blame the coaching team for his players making basic, fundamental, stupid errors that have seen us go 2-0 down and almost certainly cost us the game already. It's absolutely dreadful from West Ham, and it's basic. There you go. I'm sure some of you will disagree. I know some of you will disagree, but I'm afraid that's how it is, folks. Players not doing the basic things right. And it's going to require an incredible turnaround for West Ham to come back, and get anything out of this game, and let alone win the game now and take the 3 points that we were looking at. Anyway, Newcastle have a corner. That was Joe Linton's fifth goal of the season, by the way. It's his best tally for the season, unbelievably. Never scored 5 goals before. Ball played out by West Ham, and Mickey Antonio just standing there watching it, and a Newcastle player, hungrier, comes in and takes it off him. This is disgraceful from West Ham's players. You can blame the manager, you can say what you like about the manager and the coaching team, but this performance from the players is absolutely disgraceful so far. The forwards are just, Antonio jogging around like it's a Sunday morning stroll. Defence completely unaware of what's going on around them, not switched on at all. And we're not talking about, youngsters. We're talking about experienced pros that played in World Cups and Champions Leagues finals in Kurt Zuma and Naya Fagerd, Thilo Kehrer, Emerson, Italian defender. And these are all experienced defenders. What is going on out there? What on earth are these players thinking? Do they think we're safe? I don't know, but this is absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling. HXM says, but UTJ, where does the manager take responsibility? Well, as I said, if you want to criticise the manager for what's happened so far, you can potentially, we're talking about that second goal specifically. I think you could say the manager, if the players were just in Tommy Souček trying to break into the box, unfortunately couldn't get there and the ball's cleared out. If your emphasis is on sitting back and not pressurising high up, or they call it a high press, don't they, these days? It's exactly the same thing. Then, you're affording the opposition time. Yes, you can be critical of the coaching team for that. You can't be critical of the coaching team for players not doing the job they're paid to do. Simple as that. Experienced defenders of that ilk should not be making errors like that. And that's what it comes down to, unfortunately. David O'Rourke making the point that we started very attacking. The players are just making poor decisions. It's poor. It's poor stuff. But anyway, long way to go. That's the good thing, or it might be a bad thing the way it's going so far, because West Ham, having conceded two, are kind of ripe, it seems, at the moment to concede more. Ball played across onto the left-hand side for Saint-Maximin, who looks to cut inside, plays it down the line to Joe Linton again. He finds... it's a good tackle, actually, in the end by Tilo Kehrer, who's absolutely furious that he didn't get the goal kick. It's been given as a corner. Let's have another look at this one again, see what happened. Not sure, actually. It could have come off Byrne or it could have come off Kehrer. I think the referee probably just took a bit of a flyer on that one. But anyway, it's another corner for West Ham to defend. And let's see what happens on this one. Corner comes in from Trippier, near post this time, headed out by Declan Rice, who's been at the heart of everything defensive so far for West Ham. But anyhow, looking reasonably pleased, as you would expect. That's dreamland, isn't it? 2-0 up away from home after less than 20 minutes. Yeah. Anyway, as you will have probably deduced by now, this is my, or you will be entertained by me and me alone tonight. The rest of the team at the game are unavailable. I should perhaps point out, now get this. This is pretty amazing. Rio, of this parish, who regularly joins me for the away games, is at the match tonight. And I'm absolutely delighted to announce that it is the 1,000th first team match that Rio has attended. That's just West Ham games alone, not including friendlies, not including other matches, but first team matches involving West Ham United. Tonight's game is Rio's 1,000th, which is, can't be many fans who have seen that amount of games, or at least, still prepared to pay to watch West Ham after having seen that amount of games. But anyway, there we are. So congratulations to Rio. I would like to say, I was hoping he was going to enjoy the game tonight, but if he's feeling like any of these fans that they're showing close-ups of on the screen right now, that's probably unlikely. But anyway, Rio, I hope you're having a good night, regardless of what's happening on the pitch. Newcastle breaking on the right-hand side again. West Ham just haven't really reacted to going two behind. You'd expect us to be, looking a little bit more attacking. But I guess this is the issue. I mean, again, we're coming back to the coaching and the tactical approach. If you go out at the start of a game in a certain fashion, and this happens, you find yourself 2 down after a couple of minutes. We've just seen the first goal again. I mean, Ben Rama gets done, Emerson gets done. It's a shambles. It's just a shambles from everyone involved. And the second goal is Sunday League stuff. It's just a long hump over the top. It's just embarrassing almost to see. But anyway, long way to go. Yeah, who knows? West Ham hopefully can get back into this game and claw a point or something at least out of it. But 21 minutes gone, we're coming out to the halfway point in the first half. And goals from Wilson after 6 minutes, Joe Linton after 12 minutes have put the visitors in a very, very strong position at the quarter mark in this particular Premier League encounter. No, Rio has not been going since 1945, Mark, as far as I'm aware. I'm guessing late. I don't actually know. I don't actually know when he started going, but I would guess late 70s, early 80s, maybe. We'll find out anyway. Soon. Yes, Hobo, isn't it? 1,000 games, above and beyond, indeed. By Rio would have been done a little bit sooner, but he's not been able to make 1 or 2 games, unfortunately, this year due to not being particularly well. Leanne says it just shows the Southampton result masks how bad we really are. Well, I'm not sure that's the case because you know, you can take every single game on an individual basis. I mean, if you're looking at 2023, I think West Ham are what is it 8th in the form table for this year alone. So you know, you can basically make statistics or use statistics to make any point you want, can't you? Really, you know, I think the thing also with this West Ham is that there seems to be a little bit of we tend to play to the quality of the opponent rather than the other way around, which of course isn't great. But I think that's, you know, why we've seen sort of drab performances like that against Southampton and Everton. You know, we did what we had to do in those circumstances. But as you know, I mean, any one of you that's been watching West Ham for a while will know that this West Ham team is quite capable of playing really badly against a Southampton or a Leeds or an Everton, and then going out and pulling off a shock result against a Man United or an Arsenal even. Happened time and time again over the years. For some reason, you know, if we could be consistent, we'd be world beaters, but we're just consistently inconsistent, unfortunately. But that's the way it is. Anyway, 23.5 minutes gone on my stream. It's West Ham United 0, Newcastle 2. We've got at least 1 goal in us tonight, says Spencer Neal. Well, let's hope we've got 1 more than that, Spencer. But we certainly need to get the next goal, don't we? That's for sure. To make this a contest. Anyway, Tilo Kehrer is doing his best to get that underway, breaking down the right. Finds Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen looking up. Can he get a crossing? He's marshalled by 2 Newcastle defenders. Plays it back to Rice, to Paquetá, who's I thought was going to concede possession there, but he's just about managed to maintain it. And West Ham keep probing. First time we've had a really sort of decent, sustained spell of pressure in the opposition half, although it comes to Ben Rama's done really well, actually. Gave the ball away and they did really, really well to retrieve it. This is better from West Ham. Finally got our foot on the ball. This is about 10, 12 passes so far. Antonio on the edge of the box, gives it away, wins it back, gives it away again. Declan Rice with the ball. Come on, West Ham. Let's see if we can do something. Kehrer now, can he swing a crossing? It's a high, looping, deep cross. I think it was intended for Tommy Souček, but that's way too far for him. And Newcastle managed to head the ball out. And that's poor stuff from Tilo Kehrer once again tonight. Not had a good start, has he? Now, I think I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think the Newcastle players just tried to lob Lucas Fabianski. I looked away briefly, saw the ball coming in. I think he's tried to lob Fabianski from the halfway line. Now, that's just taking liberties, young man. Now, stop that at once. We will not have any more of that. That's a foul. Push in the back of Emerson, and West Ham have got a free kick about 35, 40 yards from goal. It's been a goal at Old Trafford. Manchester United were beaten 4-0 by Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium earlier in the season. Well, they're doing their best to turn it around tonight, and Marcus Rashford, England's Marcus Rashford, has scored the opening goal of the game. And not that it has any bearing whatsoever on anything West Ham are concerned with, but it will have a bearing on what Newcastle are doing. So no doubt Eddie Howe will be taking notice of what happened, or what's happening there. Manchester United were to win that, they would be level on points for Newcastle, although with a far, far inferior goal difference. Anyway, we'll come back to West Ham. Emerson's going to take this free kick. It's, where are we, 24, 30, 33, 34 yards from goal. He's going to swing this in from the left-hand side. Kehrer and Aguirre looking to latch onto this at the end. It's a deep cross, but Pope's going to come out and grab that. That's too deep. It's into the 6-yard box and it's going nowhere. The players have got no heart, says CD. Well, they've certainly started off on the wrong foot tonight, that's for sure. Dreadful start from the Hammers. Really poor. And that's terrible. Newcastle just given the ball away. Now, this is a real chance. Tommy Souček has been fouled on the edge of the box, and that's decent work from the Czech. Great timing. I've just seen your post, Michelle, about asking whether Souček's touched the ball yet, and there he's just winning us a free kick right on the edge of the penalty box. Very, very dangerous position. For a Dimitri Payet, in circumstances like this. But no Payet on the pitch tonight. And we'll have to see who's going to take this now. Paquetá's lining up. Emerson's there. Said Benrahma's there. Paquetá looks like he's leading that particular conversation. So I don't know if it's the Brazilian who's going to take the effort. From that position, you'd have to say it's more of a left footer's shot. So maybe Emerson might be better positioned. Aaron Cresswell, no doubt, were he on the pitch, will be lining up to try and slot this into the far corner. But I'm just wondering, I think Emerson might take this one. It's a 4-man Newcastle wall anyway. And we'll see what happens here. Still 3 players over the ball. Emerson, Benrahma, Paquetá. Waiting for the referee to give the signal. Paquetá takes 3 steps backward, as does Benrahma, as does Emerson. I think it's the Brazilian who's going to take it. It is. Oh, it's a good effort. It was creeping in, curled it around the wall, but Nick Pope's got down low to push the Brazilian's effort wide. And it's West Ham's first effort on target. Yeah, it's a really good effort, actually, by Paquetá. Good save from Pope. West Ham have a corner. That's better from West Ham. Corner comes in. It's an outswinger this time, looking for Zuma, who fails to connect. Paquetá regains possession on the edge of the box for West Ham. We're going to try and work it in again. Down the line, Benrahma. Going backwards now. Nothing on. Turns, but he's going nowhere at the moment. And Newcastle, that's really good defending. Just stand him up. And he gives the ball away. And Newcastle can break. Excellent defending from Newcastle. But to be fair, it's a really, really good challenge by Paquetá to nick the ball back now. Rice surging forward. Coming towards the box, into the box. Plays it short. Antonio! It's a great, great challenge. As Antonio is poised to pull the trigger. It looked for a moment that West Ham are going to be coming back into the game there. But, I mean, it all started from Paquetá. He just nicks the ball off the Newcastle player's toe. Great surging run from Rice. Good little touch into and just behind Antonio. Just can't quite get his foot on the ball. And in the end, it's a really good tackle. And West Ham will have another corner, which is going to come in from the right-hand side. It's an in-swinger this time, and it's straight into the hands of Nick Pope. And that's so disappointing. Really, really is. Complete waste of a set piece. Pope lies on the ground. And we're going to see a lot of this, aren't we? We know Eddie Howe's sides are well known for time wasting. We saw it time and time again when he was at Bournemouth, when they were in an advantageous position, and Pope's just taken about 60 seconds out of the game by lying on the ball. And Newcastle playing a little bit strange here. They're trying to play the ball around the back. Don't look particularly comfortable, and West Ham might be able to profit from this now. It's interesting to see Antonio closing down, Benrahma pushing up. Now it looks like, yeah, I'm guessing there's been an instruction from the bench here, perhaps, to push on, and the ball's been played back to Pope, and he's just punted it straight into touch. So, you know, you kind of contrast that with the second goal. Now we've seen a penalty shout. Mickey Antonio, half-hearted, fell over in the box. I don't think there's anything really in it. Newcastle can break again. Yeah, just compare and contrast those two situations, really. The second goal where West Ham were a good 20 yards off the defender is now to pick his spot and punt a long ball over the top for Joe Linton to run onto. And there, you know, the forcing the error with the and this could be 3 here. And West Ham in big trouble. Oh, and Fabianski's done really well to put a hand out and make a save. And yet again, West Ham caught out by a long ball or a ball into the channels. Slow to react defensively, and we've conceded possession again. We're just all at 6s and 7s defensively. This is the strange thing, because this has been West Ham's strongest area, of course, this season defensively. But tonight we are all over the shop defensively. Let's have another look at this now. This is the penalty shout, I think. Ball thrown into Antonio. Well, you know, the defender's all over him. I don't think it's a penalty. I think Antonio's gone to ground. But then again, Antonio's just standing his ground. The defender's got his hands over the top of him. Sven Botman, the defender. David Moyes was convinced it was a penalty, but VAR, if they have looked at it, and I'm sure they have decided that there's no need to stop the game or go back. But I think Sven Botman's a bit of a lucky lad there. All over Antonio. Now, Nick Pope's sitting on the floor. Not quite sure why. If he's bored. He's receiving a bit of treatment. And the rest of the Newcastle players are being spoken to by Eddie Howe. As we pause, 32 minutes gone in this game. David O'Rourke clearly not agreeing with my suggestion that it might have been a penalty there, saying that Antonio falling over again, it's getting embarrassing. And Craven Moorhead adding, I turned down a free ticket tonight. I'm thankful for that. I'd literally have walked for the train at 2-0 knowing there is no way we are going to get back into this. Well, stay positive and all that. Yeah, there's that chance again. I mean, the ball's played in. This time it's the other side. It's played in between Emerson and Aguerd by Trippier. And Emerson sticks a foot out and puts it straight into the path of Callum Wilson. It just takes a bit of a heavy touch, which means Lucas Fabianski can reach out and get a hand to it as Wilson tries to go round him. But it's awful. West Ham defensively are an absolute shambles so far tonight. But there you go. We're seeing a Newcastle player warming up. But Nick Pope looks to be okay for the moment. I'm still not quite sure what the issue is, was with Pope there, but maybe it's just time wasting. But it should be an added extra minute or two at the end of the first half as a consequence of that moment. Anyway, Lucas Fabianski has a goal kick for West Ham. 33 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Newcastle United 2. Goals coming in the 6th and the 12th minute for the visitors. Absolutely appalling start from West Ham. Just individual errors, really, defensively, that have cost us 2 goals here tonight. Now, Saint-Maximin on the left. Kehrer this time manages to get in first and nick the ball off his toe. The Germans had a torrid time, quite frankly, tonight, responsible in part for the first goal, unnecessarily conceding the corner that led to that goal. Jarrod Bowen's lost possession. Joe Linton with the ball. Now, what's happened here? It's a free kick to West Ham. Kehrer winning the free kick. I think Saint-Maximin was a little bit late in on him there with the challenge. But anyway, let us know what you're thinking of the game so far. If you're still with us, some of you appear to have disappeared already. I might have to put the fire on in a minute. It's getting a bit chilly in here tonight. I think it's going to be -1 up here this evening. Not great. Spring is on its way. Just not very quickly at the moment. Anyway, Lucas Paquetá for West Ham just inside the Newcastle half. Plays it short to Tilo Kehrer. Kehrer down the line to Jarrod Bowen. Bowen comes back to the Brazilian. Sleeves rolled up to his elbows. Clearly, you know, in that fashion that MPs employ to suggest they're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Now, what's happened here? Craig Paulson's given a free kick for something. No, he's given a throw into West Ham, just by the halfway line. Newcastle managing this game expertly at the moment. West Ham really haven't threatened apart from that free kick, which Paquetá forced a good save from Nick Pope from. West Ham's only shot on target tonight. Newcastle haven't really offered an awful lot more so far, but you don't need to when you're 2-0 up. You know, as we were saying during that West Ham game against Everton, people were kind of wondering why West Ham didn't go on and score more. Well, you know, situations you don't need to, do you? Games won, points in the bag. No need to take any risks at that particular point. But anyway, Newcastle on the ball now. 35 minutes gone. It's on the right-hand side. Played down the channel. Cross comes in from the right-hand side. Dangerous-looking cross, but Saint-Maximin can't get it on the end of it, but he'll reach it and keep it in play. Now, he's gone round Jarrod Bowen, passes it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton short. And the ball sprayed out onto the right-hand side. Patient build-up here from Newcastle. Trippier just managing to keep the ball despite the close attention from Ben Rama. Little 1-2 in the middle of the park there. Played down the right-hand side. The cross is going to come in. It's hung up from the right, stood up, but it's going to drift just behind the goal. And West Ham will have a goal kick here. Trying to be positive, says Steve Palmer, but I'm struggling to see much onto which to hang that positivity. And David O'Rourke adding, we need something fast. Newcastle are playing like they're at home, and that's what irks me. Yeah. Not great. Not great. I'm kind of a bit lost for words, really, which is unusual. West Ham really haven't given us anything to cheer about so far, have they? It's been that sort of evening so far, but plenty of time to go. It's a horrible night out there. It's raining, cold, miserable. The fans are upset, and West Ham are distinctly second best here at the moment. Distinctly second best here at the moment, should I say? Now, cross coming in from the right-hand side again, fired in across goal. No one able to get on the end of that. It was a Trippier again, who's looked good so far. Very, very busy firing in another cross, an angle cross low into the West Ham 6-yard box, which it fizzes across with neither Callum Wilson nor Sam Maximan, who was lurking at the far post, able to get on the end of it. It's another goal kick for West Ham. No, it's not. It's actually a corner. I'm not quite sure where the touch came from there, but the corner has been given, and Trippier comes across to the right-hand side to take this one for the visitors. And this will be an in-swinger. And here it comes. Trippier with the corner. It's cleared out by West Ham. Put back into the box. Kurt Zuma does well to get up. Now, Declan Rice on the ball. What can West Ham do? Plays it out on the left to Mickey Antonio, who surges into the opposition half. Trying to go past Longstaff. Does him for pace. Brilliant from Mickey Antonio. Options on. Pulls it back. Oh, Bowen can't quite get there. It was a good move from West Ham, but the ball's still alive. Paquetá finds Declan Rice. Declan Rice about 40 yards from goal. Slows play down. Plays it short to Emerson. Back to Rice. Rice looking for options. Delivers one to the far side. It's a good ball to Thilo Kehrer. Now, can Kehrer get this ball across? Pulls it back to Jared Bowen. Bowen with two players around him. Can he escape their attentions? He can't. But he wins a corner. Better from West Ham. That was much, much better. Good football from West Ham. Now, stay with me. Stay with me, folks. You might have even seen it in the live chat, but I think we might have something to cheer about in just a few moments. Let's have a look. Jared Bowen will take this corner. Kurt Zuma and Agerd are lining up in the box. Let's see what happens. Jared Bowen from West Ham's right-hand side delivers it deep. Up goes Zuma, unmarked, and it's a goal. Nick Pope came for the ball. Uncharacteristic error from the Newcastle goalkeeper there. He came out to claim the ball, missed it completely, and Kurt Zuma, completely unmarked, nods the ball into the back of the net, and it's game on once again. West Ham United 1, Newcastle 2. That's a bit better. Let's have another look at this goal. Now, Zuma just completely, it's just terrible. I mean, we were complaining about Newcastle, about West Ham's defending earlier, and that's equally as bad for Newcastle. Kurt Zuma, whoever was marking him, just let him go. And he's completely unmarked when he makes the cross. Catalogue of errors for the visitors, because Pope, who is obviously usually very, very reliable, comes out to claim the ball, completely misses it. It's 2-1. Game on again. So hold your horses, Hammers. Might not be done yet. But anyway, good time to score coming into half-time. Would have been, imagine it would have been a demoralised changing room if we'd have gone in 2 goals behind, but only 1 goal behind, it's all to play for. Just one bit of luck, one mistake from the opposition, and it's game on again. So let's see what happens. Will it change the way Newcastle approach the game? Will West Ham step it up a bit? Will we sort of sit back a little bit again now because we've got back into the game? But anyway, whatever happens from here on, it is game on again. The Zuma header from that Jared Bowen corner, bringing West Ham back into the game. 2 goals behind after just 12 minutes, but back into it right now. West Ham have looked good, actually. Got to say, the last 5 minutes, pretty much since Newcastle scored, we've looked a better team. Let's just hope we can keep that up now and keep going. Well, we're certainly looking to. Declan Rice is on the ball again. Looks to play it out wide to... I was looking for Bowen, actually. He was looking to play it out wide, but it was just a bit of a strong pass, and Bowen couldn't quite get his foot on top of it. To his disappointment, frustration, throws his hands up in the air in disappointment. But anyway, Newcastle coming, looking to break again. Declan Rice does brilliantly to break that up and win the ball. Oh, that's fantastic from Declan Rice. That'll get the crowd going. Now, Rice looking up options. What options has he got? Plays it down the line, looking for Bowen. Bowen trying to come inside. He's got 3 Newcastle players around him, and the Mags managed to get the ball away. But that was brilliant from Declan Rice. Best moment of the half. Oh, that's a great challenge. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. Oh dear, oh dear. Now, I've got to say, I thought Emerson had won that ball cleanly. Now he's coming from behind. The ball was played to a Newcastle player by the halfway line on the right touchline. Emerson's coming behind him really quickly, nicked the ball off him. Looked like a clean challenge, but Craig Paulson is booking him. And David Moyes is absolutely furious. He is fuming about that challenge. And rightly so. That's a clean challenge. That's appalling. That is bloody awful from Paulson, because Emerson's coming. He's won the ball. The player's gone to ground because, you know, it's a physical game. He's hit him as he's challenged him. But that's an absolutely terrible decision by Paulson, because that's a clean challenge from Emerson. Bloody awful. Absolutely. And Moyes is making that point, and he's absolutely furious. He's telling the fourth official just how bad a decision it was. And it was. And it was an awful, awful decision. I mean, even at worst, you give it, you give a free kick if you don't believe it was a clean tackle. But to foul, to book him as well, I think that's pretty poor. Jacob Murphy was the injured party. Anyway, Newcastle play resumes with Newcastle. It comes to Joe Linton on the edge of the box. He tries his luck and fires just wide. Now, interestingly, we've seen Lucas Fabianski, who has been accused frequently of not getting the ball back in play as quick as he possibly can, run behind the goal, pick the ball up, and immediately get West Ham underway again. So I don't know if that's a new instruction or whether someone's had a word with the poll, but anyway, that's good to see. West Ham with a throw-in on the halfway line. Now, wouldn't it be great if we could just get a goal back, another one, before half-time? That goal for Kurt Zuma was the 20th of his professional career. Get this, 18 of the 20 have been from headers. Unbelievable statistics. Only scored 2 goals with his feet in his entire career, 18 with his head. But there you go, it's 2-1. West Ham with the ball. Now, Jarrod Bowen on the right-hand side. Can he get into the box? Goes to the byline. That's a great delivery to the back post, but no one there. Ball falls cleared half out to Paquetá, but hooked away by a Newcastle defender, and West Ham forced all the way back to their own half, but maintaining possession. This is much better from West Ham. You know, probing, looking to find the opportunity. There's a long pump forward from Kurt Zuma, which comes to nothing. It's just headed into touch by Newcastle. Tilo Kehrer will take this free kick. The fans getting behind the players now. They'll be pleased, no doubt, the 60,000 spectators that are there tonight at West Ham's recovery. It was an absolutely appalling start, but we've done well. This has been a good comeback. And there's a long, long way to go in this game, one suspects, especially now there's only 1 goal in it. Paquetá, now, if that's not a foul, right, Paquetá's been done there. Is that Joe Linton? Now, is Paulson going to book him as well? Because that's equally as bad, if not worse, than Emerson's challenge. And Paulson's not going to do anything. He's just going to, no, he says he's just going to talk to him. Just going to have a word. No, that's terrible refereeing. Let's have a look at this again. Oh, okay, maybe it's not that bad. I mean, Paquetá kind of put himself out there for the foul, but, you know, the referee's kind of made a rod for his own back there, hasn't he, by producing the yellow card. Jarrod Bowen tries his luck from just outside the box. Probably had better options on. Tommy Souček was in a much better position, but didn't find him. And the shot rolls just wide of the far post. We're into added on time at the end of the first half. 3 minutes extra before we go into the interval. Nick Pope taking his time with this goal kick once again. But yeah, I mean, still, they're just, I can hear them just saying on the TV commentary there that, you know, Pope probably feels he should have done better with the goal. That's ball hooked forward by Mickey Antonio for Bowen. Can't quite make it, but only cleared to Paquetá. Newcastle can't really clear their lines right now, but Paquetá's given the ball away, and Newcastle breaking. Now, 2v2 at the moment. Sam Maximan on the left-hand side, looking for options. Good work by Zuma on that occasion, but he's managed to play it out to the right-hand side. Newcastle, third would... Oh, this is big trouble for West Ham. Ball played across. Oh, but cleared out by Tommy Souček. Well done to the Czech defender there. West Ham looked in trouble for a moment there, but defensively at 6s and 7s once again. But just need to keep it tight there. Nothing silly. 2-1, not great, but it's not the end of the world. There's still another half to go. We certainly do not want to concede another one before half-time. That would be devastating, quite frankly. Halfway through this added on time. Should be booked for time wasting, says Mark Pierce. Shouldn't he just, Mark? Absolutely agree with that. 3 minutes cool, but given the time that, you know, he used up for the treatment, plus the other 2 or 3 occasions in which he's taken goal kicks, I'd say that's a lot more than 3 minutes wasted by the Newcastle goalkeeper, or used anyway. Can't blame me for being injured, I suppose. Anyway, Newcastle with the ball. We're coming into the final minute of added on time at the end of this first half. Tommy Souček does really well to win the ball back off Joe Linton. And Pawson again decides he's penalised Souček this time. And I can't see why. I think that's a fair challenge. But there you go. Newcastle will have a free kick, just having a rerun of this Trippier ball into the box. And Saint-Maximin actually lays it back across the box from kind of in line with the 6-yard box. He could have shot. I mean, he had an opportunity to have a volley at goal there. Surprised he didn't shoot. But anyway, just waiting for this Trippier free kick to come in before we get the whistle for half time. It's played short down the right-hand side. West Ham not responding. Played across the box again. Another dangerous ball across the 6-yard box, but straight across and no one coming in. Now Newcastle, they've got the delivery right, but no one seems to be finishing properly. And again, West Ham caught out a little bit there. It's a great ball in, but there's no one in a Newcastle shot within about 10 yards of the ball. Mickey Antonio sends the ball down the line and looks to drive into space, but is really furious with Craig Pawson. He feels he was pulled or checked in some way, but Pawson, who's not really had a very good half, ignores it and will call for half time. And that's the half time interval. It's West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 2 at the break. Callum Wilson scoring the opening goal. Didn't he at Newcastle? Wasn't that after about 2 minutes in the corresponding fixture? Wilson scoring the opening goal after 6 minutes. Cross coming in from the right. The experienced striker, free header, able to nod it into the bottom left-hand corner of Lucas Fabianski's goal. And it was 2-0 just 6 minutes later when Joe Linton was sent through with a long ball over the top, which West Ham failed to react to. It looked to all intents and purposes, as if it was going to be clearly offside. It looked to have broke the line very, very early. No, it wasn't so. Emerson was actually playing him on side. Emerson a yard or so behind the rest of the defence, playing him on side, and the goal stood. West Ham shell shocked, but managed to come back into the game. Took a bit of time. Paquetá enjoying West Ham's first effort on target after 28 minutes with a free kick from about 22 yards, which he curled around the wall, but was pushed wide by Nick Pope, making a good save low down to his right-hand side. And then the breakthrough, 39 minutes, 6 minutes before the break. Jared Bowen, after a good West Ham spell where we had good possession, looked like getting back into the game a little bit. It was a Jared Bowen corner, floated to the far post. Nick Pope came out to claim it as he had done just moments earlier, completely missed the ball. I mean, just misjudged it entirely. Kurt Zuma, I'd imagine whoever was supposed to be marking will be getting an absolute berating right now in the Newcastle change room, but he was allowed to challenge for the ball completely unmarked, nodded it in at the far post, and that halved the deficit and meant West Ham go into the half-time interval. Only 1 goal behind instead of 2. Could have been a lot worse, but yeah, again, against Newcastle, West Ham getting off to that absolutely terrible start. Just doesn't seem to be any answer, does there, for the Hammers? What did you make of the first half? Let me know. Give us your comments on the live chat below, and don't forget, if you're enjoying what you've seen, well, you won't be enjoying it much, but at least if you're enjoying watching the game with me, just give us a little thumbs up down there, if you will. It all helps the channel, so I'm told. So yeah, just hit that thumbs up button. Why not register, join the channel, subscribe even. That's the word I'm looking for. Subscribe to the channel. If you will, and also hit that notification bell so you can be reminded whenever these streams go live. That's all down there somewhere. Yeah. Let's have a look at 1 or 2 of your comments. We'll also, dare I dive into the general discussion forum to see what's been said in the match thread? We'll have a look in just a minute. But David O'Rourke saying that Moyes needs to kick a few teacups into players' faces. Have the players seen every club around us ditch their managers and have decided to push the issue themselves? Mark Pierce adding, we need to get Scott Parker in just to do our half-time team talks. Yes, for those of you who aren't aware, the Mark's reference there, I'm assuming anyway, to the that particular game at the Hawthorns, 2010 or 2011, whenever it was. It would have been 2010, wouldn't it? I think, or 10-11 season anyway. West Ham United found themselves 3-0 down at half-time, and Scott Parker decided to take it upon himself to deliver the team talk instead of Avram Grant. What happened? Ended up 3-3. Remarkable comeback from West Ham. I always remember Carlton Cole's comments about that particular team talk. Fair to say Carlton and the rest of his teammates were suitably impressed by Scotty's team talk. But there you go. Yeah, certainly worked that day, didn't it? But not around today. Unfortunately, Scott Parker, at least I don't think he is. I haven't seen him. You never know. He might be at the stadium watching the game. Who knows? Mark Pearce suggesting that Paquetá has been our best player. Closely followed by Declan Rice so far. Mickey Antonio a bit sluggish and Said Benrahma invisible. And Rob's gone. Rob Walden had to dash. Thanks for the commentary. Enjoy your evening wherever you are. Rob, Alan Pardew's dad says in other news, Frank Lampard is back at Chelsea. In what capacity, APD? Are we saying as temporary coach? Let me know. Let me know. I've not seen that so far. Yes, the match thread. The general just going to dip into the match thread and see. Well, I mean, understandably, perhaps people are a little bit more enthusiastic and confident than they were perhaps half hour ago that West Ham might now be able to get something out of this game. WC Pete says, I'm pleased Mickey Antonio is having a proper go, even if he doesn't get off a shot. He at least can cause problems for us. Maybe stick Danny Ings in there with him and see if he can feed off one of those bouncing, ricocheting balls that Mickey invariably causes. And Briz of this parish, Bristol Hammer FC, saying that I'd put 4 nails on for Benrahma. We need a bit more possession down our left-hand side. Yeah, Sai's been very, very quiet, isn't he, this evening? Not in the game at all so far. Smut saying that Jarrod Bowen is playing like Ted Lasso season 1 Jamie Tart, shooting no matter if there's a better option. Moyes will never do it, but 4 nails should be on for Souček at half-time. The bloke is just not totally at the races. Anyone else here seen Ted Lasso? I started watching it earlier this week, actually. I think I'm about halfway through the first series. Quite enjoyable, really. I only started watching it because I know West Ham are going to be involved to some extent in the 3rd series, which I believe is broadcasting right now. But if you've not seen it so far, it's really good. It's really quite fun. Even if it is a little bit Americanized, they talk about ties instead of draws, which is clearly an American script at play. But good stuff, though. Good stuff. Morocco Mole adding, it's been a good game of football so far. We can't defend, but we are dangerous going forward. Paquetá needs to calm down. Bowen needs to get his head up. Souček needs to come off. No love for Tommy again tonight. We are playing with 10 men, but still giving them a game. I can't believe they're the 3rd best team in the country. Aztec Hammer adding that Kehrer is on the floor more often than he's standing. Souček must have hit the bottle before the game. The only explanation for the way he stumbles about the pitch. We have our new. Well, there's always one, isn't there, with West Ham? There's always one player who gets it in the neck. Doesn't matter how he's performing. It used to be many moons ago. I think one of the first times I kind of saw this phenomenon emerge was when Andy Impey was playing, and it was back in the day when the KUMB Forum was kind of at an embryonic stage, and there were probably no more than 20 or 30 of us regulars posting, and Andy Impey got some horrendous stick, and it was like it didn't matter what he did, every single game. He would cop it, and so he was kind of like the instigator or the originator of all this kind of fall guy thingy at the club, and then we've seen a few, haven't we, over the years. More recently, Kevin Nolan had it for a bit, didn't he? Towards the end of his career, and people felt it was slowing down a bit. Aaron Cresswell more recently got a little bit older. Couldn't do anything right. Pretty much a lot of that actually came from the Frankfurt and Lyon games, didn't it, last year? And now it's Tommy Souček's turn. Apparently he's not done anything, hasn't, been involved at all, although I'm sure I saw him make a really good tackle in the box a few moments ago and get in a really good position for that cross, which Jarrod Bowen didn't quite get right. But maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do a Souček watch in the second half just to see exactly what he does contribute. Maybe we'll do that. We'll try and keep an eye on what Tommy Souček is contributing, just to see if it is correct that he's not having any impact at all, or whether or not it's just the question that people have latched onto Tommy as it's a bit of a lazy and easy thing to do at the moment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Well, some of you already have, because you've already commented that you feel he should be in the team. But let me know what you think. Interim manager, apparently, says Mark. Well, I never. I'm very, very surprised to hear that. But I also, on the other hand, wish we were playing Chelsea in that case between now and the end of the season, because it'd be quite nice, I think, to play a Lampard Chelsea. The Potter one wasn't that great, was it? Let's be honest. But a Lampard one would be be interesting to see. There you go. Big news from elsewhere in the Premier League. Ex West Ham youngster Frank Lampard Jr. going back to the club where he lasted the majority of his playing career. Men in both legs says, I've just got in from John Wick 4, effing cinema seats. Not comfortable, then we take it, Metal. You didn't go for the, what's the one where I went to see Star Wars a couple of years ago. I took UTJ Jr. To see one of the more recent Star Wars, and we were in one of the cinemas where you had the seats, that go up and down, and they blow air at you and stuff. And I couldn't think of anything worse. You're kind of sitting there, right? You just want to neck your popcorn, and drink your Coke, or eat your nachos, or whatever it is that you enjoy, particularly at the cinema these days. And all of a sudden, the seat's up in the air. You're trying to drink, you get a face full of Coca-Cola or whatever. Absolute nightmare. Couldn't think of anything worse. So I'd never do it again. I quite like the 3D cinema. That's pretty good. But yeah, I'm like, what do they call that? Is it 4D? Where you get the full motion experience and all that, and the wind and the smells and all that sort of stuff. Aroma Vision, they used to be called, but that's a different thing now. Yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the film anyway. John Wick 4. Don't know anything about it. Hope it was a good film, mate. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Leonard Brooks says, I'm not knocking Tilo Kehrer because you don't get capped for Germany by being poor, but I feel so much more confident with Sue Farl at right back. Fair point. He's had a couple of decent games to his credit, hasn't he, Tilo, recently? He's been all right, not been too bad, but it's always been that thing in the back of my mind that he's always capable of making that, fundamental error. Saw it in his first game. I think he conceded that penalty, didn't he, in his first outing for the club? And tonight we've seen it manifest itself with that corner conceded that led to the first goal, which he absolutely didn't need to do. Just a little bit of panic, lack of confidence, whatever, and it's cost us big time. Anyway, they're not talking about West Ham on the TV. I can tell you that much. They're just talking about Frank Lampard going back to Chelsea for the rest of the season. Which should be fun to watch, or at least it would be if we were in a slightly safer position and didn't need to worry about ourselves so much. But anyway, there you go. Hammers92 on the KUMB.com match thread says, I'm going to give a shout out to Antonio because I think he's worked his nuts off, but both Bowen and Ben Rama need to start giving us a little bit more in the second half. An Italian Hammer saying, if anyone suggests taking Paquetá off, they need to rewatch that first half. He's everywhere, putting in challenges. Without him, we would be completely overrun in midfield. What we do need, however, are Cornet and a Fornals or Lanzini on. We won't beat Newcastle with strength, but guile. What do you think of that? Would you like to see Cornet come on? Maybe Fornals at half-time? If so, for whom? Paquetá, do you think he's had a good game so far? Do you think he's lacking a little bit? Let's have your comments as always. Mark Pierce saying tonight it looked like Tilo didn't get a shout, judging by his response. Yeah, that's a fair call actually, because he did look kind of surprised, didn't he, when he looked around to see so much space around him, see no challenge. But you know, again, this is I would wager that an international footballer of that quality should be aware of his what's around him. I mean, it was Trevor Brooking, wasn't it? Always used to say that he knew before he received the ball where everyone else on the pitch was, because he was always constantly looking up around to see what was going on, before he got the ball. So if you had to make that quick pass, he would be able to do it. Perhaps he needs to get down to Rush Green and take one or two of our superstars through that particular play, or give that instruction once again. Fortunately, it's good to see people a little bit more optimistic on the KUMB.com forum match thread. What about you guys watching live on the stream? Are you a bit more optimistic having seen us come back into the game? Or do you think it's just a matter of time before Newcastle get a third? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to give us a little thumbs up down there if you're enjoying what you've seen. Thank you to those of you that have done it so far. I'm told it all helps. Pac-Man has played very well, says 10 men at the back, no one in attack, who unusually has a longer username than Post. We don't get many of those, but congratulations for that. That may be a first 10 men, as I'm going to call you from now on. Cornet for Ben Rama would be my choice, says Mark Pierce. Well, that's, I certainly wouldn't go disagree with you there, Mark, because that was my, I would like to see Cornet from the start. I was hoping we'd see him on Saturday, but maybe he's not fit enough. Maybe Moyes feels he needs to be a little more loyal to Ben Rama, who's worked hard to get into the team. I don't know, but certainly would be a good change. We've got those options now, haven't we? We can do that. We've mentioned, Ings up front for Antonio. Skamaka, of course, he could be out for the next 2 weeks. Or at least looks like it's going to be out for the next 2 weeks. Possibility that he might have to undergo surgery on an injured knee as well. Of course, causing that controversy at the weekend when walking out of the stadium or spotted walking out of the stadium before the game. I've been told he won't be playing. So anyway, that pretty much sums up your thoughts from or of the opening half. We've got 45 minutes to come very, very soon. And just have a look, see if there's any more. Yeah, everyone's a bit more optimistic. It's good to see. But so we're just waiting. The players are coming out. The players are out. I can tell you the players are coming out. I need a drink. Anyway, there you go. So, yeah, second half, just moments away now. I've no idea who that was, but I've never seen that before. As the players, I don't know if you noticed that, but as the players are coming out onto the pitch, there's an individual in a West Ham jacket. So I assume he's part of the coaching team anyway, standing in front of the tunnel as the players come out, and he's just like doing this to the players and going, "Come on!" So I don't know who that is. Maybe they've roped in one of the youth team players as a bit of a, I don't know, an enthusiasm giver. Maybe I really don't know, but anyway, there you go. Okay, second half just underway, and you're not going to believe this. Newcastle have scored, and it's Callum Wilson yet again. Now I've not seen this on my stream because the game has just kicked off again. But I'm guessing this is inside the opening minute or so. So we'll just keep an eye on this. But this is just devastating for West Ham. It's a long ball over the top of Gerds, nodded the ball back to Lucas Fabianski. Sorry. Now, again, oh my days, oh my gosh. So, oh God, oh dear. We're 24 seconds into the second half. Lucas Fabianski has rolled the ball to Naifer Gerd on the edge of the box. Naifer Gerd has turned away, and he's not noticed a Newcastle player coming behind him. The player has just nipped it off his toes and just squared the ball to Callum Wilson, who's put the ball into an empty net. And that is just absolutely unbelievable. Now, I'm sure there'll be people telling me that this is David Moyes' fault again here. But you tell me, if a professional footballer, oh my God, I'm just seeing it again. It's hopeless. It's absolutely hopeless. And I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. 2-1 down. You know, you've got yourself back into the game. You'd have been in the changing room at half time, been given instructions on, just keep it tight, nothing silly for 5 or 10. Let's make sure we're still in the game as we go into the last half hour and see what happens. A knife at a Gerd does that. Now, as I say, Moyes will be getting pelters for this, but you can't blame him at all. You cannot blame Moyes for this performance tonight. It's every single goal is just the most basic, fundamental errors. The kind of thing that if you were, if you saw a 10-year-old do it, you'd probably be disappointed that you hadn't learned the basics. Clear your lines, that sort of thing. Pick your players up. Don't do anything silly. When you're in possession. I'm fuming here. I'm fuming because it's just so unnecessary. It's 3 goals we've given away, and that's you know, you've got to say it's to be very, very difficult for West Ham to get back into the game now. But we have, you know, the players have shot themselves in the foot out there tonight. Moyes is going to get absolutely crucified for this, but it's the players. This one is totally on the players. Now, I'm sure some of you will say, oh, yeah, but you're a David Moyes fan, you know, and all that nonsense. I'm not a David Moyes fan. I'm a West Ham fan. But I also know, or like to think, that, you know, you give credit where it's due and that sort of thing. And now, what we're seeing here. Now we've got Newcastle player on the deck. It's Sven Botman who's on the deck rolling around clutching his ankle. Now, is it? I think it's Emerson who's committed the foul. So he's already, don't forget, he's already in the book. Now this would just be amazing if Emerson was to get a second card here and be sent off. Let's have a look. Oh, it's nothing in it. He's gone for the ball. He's caught Botman. No, they're just running into each other. There's absolutely nothing in it at all. Nothing in it at all. There's nowhere that's a card. It's just an unfortunate collision. Anyone suggesting otherwise, you're wrong. You're wrong. But yeah, anyway, where was I? Yes, players need to take responsibility now. It's no good. You know, you're going to just sit there and blame the manager every time West Ham lose a game. Then, you know, what responsibility do the players have to take? There's none at all, is there? They think the fans are going to, you know, let them get away with atrocious performances. And this one, as I say, this one is completely, fully down to the players. It's all on the players. Agurd and Zuma fell asleep for the second goal, for the first goal, and Zuma for the second. But that third goal, that's not even funny. I mean, it's embarrassing to see a team, to see a player of that quality do that. Agurd's done it a few times, hasn't he? Lately, we've seen a few errors creep into his game. Don't know if he's been fully West Hamified now as a result, but there's no excuse for that whatsoever. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Anyway, it's West Ham United 1, Newcastle 3. The Hammers conceding after 6 minutes, 12 minutes, and after 24 seconds of the second half. Up against it now. Really up against it now. 40 minutes to go. What do we do? Do we make changes? What would you do in David Moyes' position right now? Would you make changes or just leave it as it is and hope that the team that, you know, enjoyed a good second half of the first half can get back into it? Anyway, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do that Tommy Souček watch as well. So let's see if we can see how much involvement he has in this first half. Mickey Antonio gets to the bar number. It's really well tackled by Cher, who comes away with the ball. West Ham pressuring high, keeping Newcastle in their own third. Ball played back to Nick Pope, who's going to, is that hooked out into touch again? I think the player can just keep it in. And West Ham have done well to nick the ball back. You know, this is better from West Ham. Playing a higher line, closing down in the final third, or high press as they call it these days, and winning the ball back. Newcastle won't be too disappointed. They're 2 goals to the good, but you know, more chance to score with the ball at your feet than without it, I guess. So this is good. West Ham in our own half anyway. Declan Rice with the ball, plays it into to Souček, who looks for Bowen, and it's not a great ball from Souček. And the ball comes back. Sam Maximan looks to break for Newcastle now. Tilo Kehrer in close attendance as Paquetá wins the ball, and that'll be a free kick for West Ham. Paquetá making the most of that, but Pawson's not really interested. And, oh, no, he is interested because he's given a yellow card against Joe Linton, which, again, I'm surprised at. I didn't think there was anything in that. Let's have another look. Oh, no, okay. The reason he's given it is because I don't think there's any malice in it. Joe Linton's gone into it. His foot is slightly high. It's caught Paquetá just above the boot on the front of his ankle, and he's made the most of it. And Joe Linton's gone into the butt. I think that's harsh. But anyway, that's one each now. And Paquetá is limping around as we speak. West Ham take the free kick quickly. And it's Declan Rice ball cleared away. And Declan Rice has the ball going back towards West Ham's own goal. Why did fans actually think we would even get a point at 1-2? What made you think we would get anything from tonight, says Craven. I thought you were going, Craven. I thought you'd gone. Still with us, I see. Well, it's like you have something else to cheer about in the remaining time. Moyes is at fault. He still picks the team, says Leanne. So absolute nonsense, Lee. Absolute rubbish. Sorry, but if you're blaming David Moyes for anything tonight, then I think you need to have a look at, or at least maybe address, the way you look at these things. You can't blame David Moyes for any one of these 3 goals tonight. They've all been down to the players, all individual errors. Absolutely are, no question at all. But as I said, I'm not surprised people are still blaming David Moyes for what's happening out there. Newcastle with the ball. Sam Maximan drills it in from the left-hand side. Good delivery. Again, better for the Moroccan. Manages to get the ball clear, and it's hooked away by Said Benrahma. I switched the game up at keeping you on, says Craven. Oh, that's nice. Well, I'm glad you're still with us, mate. Anyway, let's hope we've got something for you to cheer about between now and the end. Anyway, West Ham have a free kick. It's all getting a bit scrappy out there. Shah's been penalised now. Doesn't look very happy about it. And West Ham are going to have a free kick. It's 54 minutes on the clock. West Ham United 1, Newcastle 3. 3 dreadful errors, unforgivable errors by West Ham's players that led to every single goal so far tonight. And then it was a pretty dreadful error from Newcastle that afforded West Ham the opportunity to get back into the game when Kurt Zuma scored with that header unmarked, and after Pope completely missed the cross. Pope on the ball now, plays it short. Newcastle playing it across their back line. West Ham closing them down inside their own box. And that's a terrible pass, but it's across the penalty box. It's somehow found Trippier. I mean, it looks like it'll be going out of play for a West Ham throw-in, but you force your errors. That's what happens when you get that high press. Newcastle 3 against 6. Could be 4 here. Oh, it's a great save for Fabianski, and that's a really good challenge that time by Tilo Kerr. It should have been 4. Murphy should have made it 4 there. West Ham 6s and 7s defensively, completely caught out. And now let's have a look at this again. It came from deep in Newcastle's area. It's 2 touches, ball play from right to left to Sir Maximan. Plays it inside to Joe Linton, up against Zuma. Back heel to Sir Maximan, plays it in short. And yeah, that's Murphy, I think, who has that's the shot. It's a really good save by Fabianski. Fingertip save to prevent West Ham going 4-1 down. It's a corner for Newcastle. Comes in. Missed by Zuma. Shot coming in. Only comes out as far as a Newcastle player. There's a bit of ping pong in the West Ham area, but West Ham managed to get it away. And the ball's played all the way back to Nick Pope. 55-55 on the clock, all the 5s. And well, Newcastle they must have a thing about Lucas Fabianski being off his line, because we've just seen Callum Wilson try and lob him from about 50 yards this time. We saw that one from the halfway line earlier in the half, didn't we? And let's have a look. How far out is he there, Callum Wilson? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 24 plus 18. 42 yards out. Bang on 42 yards out. And he's tried to lob Fabianski. Don't even think he was off his line. But anyway, West Ham with the ball. Paquetá surging into the opposition half. Passes it out wide to Jarrod Bowen. In the channel to Declan Rice. Can he get it across? Rice gets it across. And Pope pushes it out for... Well, I think he's pushed it out for... It looked like a corner, but I think the linesman's given a goal kick. So the assumption would be that Declan Rice's cross was out of play before Pope... Well, there's no way that's out of play, I don't think. Well, I'm very surprised at that. Let's say, well, we're going to see a good angle here. Let's see, does the ball go out of play? Oh, yeah, it does. It does. Linesman's got it spot on. Well done. Well done to the assistant referee. It's a goal kick for Newcastle. 57 minutes on the clock. The visitors leading by 3-1. West Ham in complete disarray defensively, conceding 3 goals to 3 dreadful individual errors. I mean, it's probably a pretty silly thing to say, but you take the goals away from it. West Ham haven't played that badly tonight. We've looked better going forward than against Southampton for sure. But of course, it's all immaterial when you're 3-1 down, isn't it? It doesn't really matter. Now, West Ham have a throw-in. Newcastle taking the ball out of the play. This would be some comeback, wouldn't it? From this position with the Hammers to get bang into it. But we're seeing Danny Ings warming up on the touchline. First sign of David Moyes looking to make a change. We're not even an hour in. Jarrod Bowen with the ball on the right flank. Running at his man, looks to beat him, goes around the outside, does well, gets a cross in, headed clear. How far? As far as the Newcastle player, Sam Maximum has it, and the Magpies can look to break out. It was a decent cross from Bowen, but there's just no one attacking it. It's in Tommy Souček there. You know, we're on that kind of semi-Souček watch this half. He's kind of just sitting behind Bowen, not really forward enough to get on the end of that cross, was he? Let's see what happens here now. West Ham had a throw in. Kera's taken it, thrown it straight to a Newcastle player, and the visitors can now break. That was pretty poor stuff from West Ham yet again. Another individual error. Ball played out left. Good ball that to Sam Maximum, who's going to run now at Kurt Zuma coming into the box. Tries his luck. Good effort. Just wide. I think Fabianski might have got a fingertip to that, actually. Not sure it was going in anyway. It was fired low and across the box on Sam Maximum's right-hand side. Now, we've got a good angle. Let's have a look. Does Fabianski get a touch? Yeah, I think he does. I think it might even have been drifting in, you know, to the far corner. Let's have a look at this from behind the goal. Not sure it was. Not sure it was going wide, but Fabianski done really well to get a hand on it. And it's a corner for Newcastle. Good effort, that. Cut inside Sam Maximum and looks right now. West Ham looking to counter. Side Benrahma. Can he play in Declan Rice? He can. Declan Rice is the most advanced player. Oh, and Declan Rice looked to play it cross goal to Mickey Antonio, and it actually came off the defender. Almost caught Nick Pope out, actually. Had he been another step further forward, that could have ended up being an own goal. It ricocheted off the defender back towards Newcastle's goal, but Pope managed to regain his composure and position and pick the ball up. But it's a good break for West Ham. Good counter-attack. Now, West Ham back in possession again. Tommy Souček with the ball, plays it short to Jarrod Bowen. Paquetá on the right-hand side, 2 against him now. What options has he got? Finds Tilo Kehrer. Oh, that's a terrible. He's just giving it away. It just sums up West Ham tonight. Sums up West Ham's performance. It's a 5-yard pass from the Brazilian. The sort of pass you could make all night long, and he's giving it away. And now we're going to see. Now, this could be the end of Emerson. I think Emerson could be off here. Now, let's have a look. No, I think I've got a feeling. Pawson. Now, Craig Wilson's making the point. He's on the Callum Wilson. Sorry, he's making the point that it's not the first foul Emerson's made tonight. I think it's his third. And I've got a feeling Pawson initially went for his pocket there until he saw who the player was. Now, let's have another look at this challenge. I mean, it's nothing. There's nothing in it at all, really. Emerson's gone for the ball twice. He stood on Wilson's foot, completely accidental. Then he goes to win the second ball. And, yeah, there's absolutely nothing in that. It's poor from Wilson trying to get a fellow professional cautioned. But nonetheless, Emerson still has to be very careful because you suspect one more late challenge and Pawson won't give him any more room for manoeuvre. Fabianski under pressure puts the ball into touch. Still 1-0 at Old Trafford. Manchester United leading by that early first half goal. Now, this is interesting because now this might also be a first because it looks like West Ham are about to make 4 substitutions, just as Newcastle are about to make 4 substitutions. I better get my pen out because it looks like I'm going to be busy for the next 30 seconds. Yeah, double, quadruple substitution on its way by the looks of things on 62 minutes. Newcastle are looking to add a 4th, though, before that happens. Ball played into the channel. Good ball, chance to get the ball across. It's cleared out, and Declan Rice has put a really good challenge in there to stop the shot coming in from the edge of the box. But West Ham, once again, at 6s and 7s defensively. Now, are we going to see those changes yet? No, not yet. I don't think David Moyes is going to hold fire for just a minute. No, here we go. We are going to see those changes. So with the ball on the halfway line, I can see Cornet, I can see Danny Ings, I can see Flynn Downs, and I can see Vladimir Soufal. I can't see Aaron Cresswell, which presumably means Emerson is going to stay on the pitch, which is a strange one. Antonio is going to come off anyway. First off, it's Ings for Antonio, I think we can say. Antonio looks a little bit disappointed. Ben Rama's coming off. And he's going to be replaced by Cornet, which is what we were talking about earlier in the stream, of course. Souček is off. So bang goes our Souček watch for the rest of the game. That lasted about 10 minutes. Didn't do a lot, did he? Touched the ball a couple of times. And Soufal is coming on for. Who's Soufal coming on for? Let's have a look. Surely it's not Emerson. Surely he won't be going at left back. Or Kera maybe switching to left back. I don't know. So who's the fourth sub? Kera. So it's a straight swap. Soufal for Kera. That's an interesting one. Now, when I was speaking on the West Ham Network's 24-hour stream last week, and I was chatting with Anton about our favourite 11 for the Southampton game, I had Ings in it, I had Cornet in it, and I had Soufal in it. I also had Fornells instead of Souček or Downs, but 3 of the 4 substitutes that have just come on I had in the team. So interesting to see how they go for the last 25 minutes or so. This particular game, it's a different game, but now Newcastle changes. Isaac on for Wilson. We've had that one, and a load of others, and I don't know what they are, but we'll find out, no doubt, in due course. Emerson's still on, which is a bit of a surprise considering he's a walking red card at the moment. Anyway, West Ham breaking down the right hand side. Cross comes in, looking for Danny Ings. Ings isn't going to get there first, and it's hooked clear. Fabianski comes 15, 20 yards out of his goal to hoik the ball back into Newcastle's half. Trippier clears it with an overhead kick, but it's only as far as Paquetá, who's looked busy again. And that'll be a free kick for West Ham, surely. No, not given. Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Now, I thought it was a free kick for West Ham. I've got to say, I thought Paulson should have given West Ham the free kick. He didn't give it. Allowed play to continue. Jared Bowen picked the ball up, began to move into the Newcastle box, just about to shoot. And Craig Paulson has pulled the game back to where the initial challenge took place and has awarded a free kick to Newcastle. I don't understand. I don't understand that. I have no idea. But anyway, there you go. Craig Paulson's, like both defences, not had the greatest of games so far tonight, it's fair to say. Anyway, we are 65 minutes in, just coming up to the halfway mark in this second half. West Ham United trading 2-1 at the break and now 3-1 behind, conceding after just 24 seconds of the second half with an absolutely horrendous individual error from Naif Agurd, Moroccan World Cup star. Unbelievable. It's something you'll never see him do again in his career, probably. But it's cost West Ham dearly tonight, and West Ham really, really up against it. Now let's have a look at some of your comments in the live chat. See what you're thinking. Nothing changed, says AGXM. Same old tactics, formation, all the same. Mark Pierce saying, agreed. Disappointing to see like for like changes there. David O'Rourke says Newcastle subs are far stronger than ours, unfortunately. David Moyes looking a bit perplexed out there. What do you make of this? What did you make of that quadruple substitution? Very, very Moyes-like, wasn't it? And especially so early. That's brilliant work by Lucas Paquetá. Some great work with getting yourself out of danger. West Ham looking to create a counter-attack, but it's not quite coming off. Flynn Downs winning a header, but straight back to Newcastle once again. Paulson's having a mare, says Hobo. Certainly is Hobo, isn't he? Just made some very, very strange decisions so far tonight. But anyway, not that that's affected the scoreline. We can't blame the referee for West Ham's desperately poor opening 66 minutes to this game. It's going to take something special to get back into it. But anyway, Lucas Paquetá, 25 yards from goal, running towards goal, loses the ball. That's no foul there. No, it's not foul. holds his arms out in frustration more than anything else. Don't think he expected to win that. Newcastle looking to counter. Ball up around West Ham's penalty box. Newcastle moving the ball with intent nicely from side to side. Lots of movement. West Ham defending in numbers. Looking to get back. Declan Rice has got no real options there. And tried to find Cornet, but Cornet rolled. And it's a throw for Newcastle. No. Well, what's Pawson given now? I've no idea what he's given now. I think he's given West Ham a throw-in, which is bizarre. And this, it took a touch of a Newcastle player there, which I'm presuming it must have. We have a Newcastle player down, looking to receive treatment. He's absolutely fine. It's Longstaff, who's back on his feet. Halfway through now, the second half. 7 substitutions in one go. It was actually 3 in the end for Newcastle, which must be a bit of a record at this stadium. 7 substitutions in one go. Cornet with the ball. First time we've seen him. Can he get down past his man? He can. Cornet gets away. Can he get a crossing? Decent crossing. Oh, and it's looking for Danny Ings, and Ings wasn't too far away. It's fallen as far as Soufal. Soufal looking to get the ball back across. Wins a corner. Much, much better from Western. That was what we want to see. Maxi Cornet showing the ball to his man, beating him, leaving him for dead, getting a crossing. I think it's Bowen, actually. It's Bowen. I don't know where Danny Ings is about 15 yards behind. It's Bowen who's actually not too far away from it. Anyway, Bowen's going to be taking the corner, exactly the same place from where the goal came from West Ham's right. Let's see what happens this time. I'm sure Newcastle will be a bit tighter. It's an almost identical kick delivered in. This time Newcastle half get it out. It's only as far as Downs, nods it back in. Was there a handball there? No one asking for it, so we'll have to say no. The ball's up in the air, headed back on. West Ham getting the ball back. Jared Bowen with it on the right-hand side. Oh, a lovely little dummy through the legs of a Newcastle player. Unfortunately, it comes to nothing. But good work that by Jared Bowen. West Ham keeping the pressure on Newcastle in their own third, giving them no time. Kind of the sort of football I think West Ham fans have been asking the Hammers to play. But we certainly started in a positive spirit tonight, didn't we? That was the thing. We, it sounds odd, bearing in mind Newcastle were 1-0 up after 6 minutes, but that opening 5 minutes, we were looking as if we were going to go for it a bit. We were looking a little bit more attack-minded than perhaps we have been in recent outings. And then, of course, the City error came and, it's backs against the wall from that moment. We're into the final 20 minutes. 20 minutes left on the clock. West Ham trailing by 3-1 to Newcastle. Longstaff wanted a free kick. Pawson says no. So West Ham looking to break. Maxi Cornet with the ball on the right-hand side. Plays it back short to Declan Rice. And Naifa Gerd with the ball. Plays it back out to Emerson. Down the line. Neat little 1-2 with Danny Ings. Looks for Cornet. Couldn't quite make it. And that'll be a free kick to West Ham about 35 yards from goal. Kieran Trippier suggesting it was a dive. Telling his teammate Dan Burn to go away and he will have words with the referee. Let's have a little look. Was it a foul? Was it a foul? Yeah, it's a trip. No question. It's a trip. It's a trip by Trippier on Emerson. Unintentional or not, it's a clear trip. And that's a free kick to West Ham. Now, can we make something of this? Really need to if we're going to get back into the game. Emerson's going to take this from the left-hand side, so it's going to be a kind of outswinger. We'll be looking to play this around the 12-yard, 15-yard mark, I would imagine. For the likes of Agard, Zuma, Rice, who are going to be running onto this. Let's see what happens. Danny Ings in there as well. Jared Bowen. No great height, though, really, apart from the 2 centre-halves. Here it comes. Emerson looks aims it about 12 yards out, headed clear, but not fully clear. Ball's up in the air. Can West Ham get a shot away? Danny Ings does get a shot. It's deflected. Ball's still in the Newcastle area. Paquetá with the ball. What can he do with it? Plays it short for Cornet. Cornet back to Declan Rice on the edge of the box. Rice looking to get a deep cross in. And, well, what's that? Is that a handball? Now, Dan Burns has got the last touch. It looked like he might have flicked off his hand out. I think that's what West Ham were claiming. But it's been given as a corner for West Ham anyway. So the Irons keeping the pressure on. This is better from West Ham. Jared Bowen again from the right-hand side. Another corner. I don't think we've had any from the other side. Have we yet tonight? This is the third or fourth from that side. Pope goes up, missed it completely. And the ball was dropped down and it's missed the goal by about a foot. Pope, once again, really didn't look comfortable coming for that. Let's have a look at, again, the ball delivered. Pope goes up to medium. I'm not quite sure why he's like 7 yards out. Misses it completely. Zuma, it's Zuma again who gets the header. This time, there's a Newcastle player on top of him. Now, let's have another look at this. Yeah, no, he just can't quite get enough purchase on it, and it bounces off a Newcastle player. It should be a corner, I think, that one. No, anyway, goal kick given. But, yeah, Nick Pope, yeah, not for the first time tonight, at 6s and 7s, trying to deal with a cross, which for a player his size should be meat and drink. But, yeah, David O'Rourke saying, how is that a goal kick? Certainly looked like a corner, David, didn't it? Yeah, Flag Sandwich has joined us on the stream. Flag says, I blame my uncle, who in the early 70s took me to watch the Hammers get a 1-0 win at Spurs. Hope he's turning in his grave. To top it all, he was a gooner. He'd be enjoying this season, wouldn't he, Flag? But not here to see it, unfortunately. Where are we now? 73 minutes gone. It's still West Ham United 1, Newcastle 3. The Hammers, you know, it's getting to that point. We need a goal in the next couple of minutes now to, if we're going to have any chance of getting back into this game. And, you know, the chances all really, really slim as it stands anyway. But ball played in by Newcastle. Gordon is one of the subs. Plays it back. Gets it back. Can he play the ball across? It's poked in by Newcastle. Zuma gets the ball in now. Willett turns in the box. Joe Linton. It's West Ham looking to get it away, and they don't get it away. And the shot comes in. It's whisker wide, only a whisker wide of Lucas Fabianski's right-hand post. Now, who was it who had that shot in here? But West Ham kind of just couldn't get the ball out of danger there. It's the yeah. In the end, the shots come in from the number 39 is Bruno Guimaraes, the former Lyon player, teammate of Lucas Paquetá and Maxi Cornet in Ligue 1 a few years ago. Well, you know, he's kind of like the poster boy, isn't he, at Newcastle at the moment? A very, very popular player that should have scored there. Really should have done better. Just approaching the final 15 minutes of this Premier League encounter at the London Olympic Stadium. West Ham trailing by 3-1. Newcastle getting on top for the last couple of minutes now. And the Hammers really need to sort of get a grip and just something, just a bit of luck, maybe anything. Lucas Fabianski once again releases the ball quickly, looking for Danny Ings, and Ings can't reach the ball, and it's all the way back with Nick Pope from Newcastle. Definitely a sea change in Fabianski's distribution, I think that's like. We've seen him release the ball a little bit quicker than he perhaps has done in the past. So it would seem he's under some kind of new instruction there from the coaching team. But anyway, Newcastle still have the ball. It's been all Newcastle for the last 3 or 4 minutes. West Ham not really looked pretty good for much of the second half, even though we obviously conceded that third goal, but probed and looked creative for a change. I'm not sure what the match stats are. I haven't had a look at BBC tonight, but I don't suppose we've created all that many shots at goal, but it feels like we've been a bit more creative tonight anyway. Yeah, maybe that's just me. My constant optimism and faith that West Ham are going to get out of this. West Ham 42% possession so far to Newcastle's 58. West Ham 7 shots, 2 on target. Newcastle 12 shots, 6 on target. So Hammers comfortably outshot and outpossessed, I suppose you could say, so far in this game. 7 corners for West Ham, 6 for Newcastle so far. 76.5 minutes gone. Flynn Downs on the ball inside West Ham's own half. The Hammers looking to try and build again here and create something. Lucas Paquetá rolls the ball out to Maxi Cornet, his former teammate at Lyon in France. That's an interesting looking pass from Emerson, I think it was, just given away completely. But West Ham have retrieved the ball. It's Flynn Downs, plays it to Jared Bowen on the right-hand side. Can he get to the byline? Does it again. It's another good attempt at across the bone. He's had the beating of his man all night there, I think. And it's another corner won by Bowen. He's looked lively, but it's just that final ball, the final delivery, finding the player. Just not working for West Ham, as has been the case for much of the season, isn't it, really? Now, can West Ham do something from this corner? Of course, it was a corner from the right that the goal came from in the first half. Kurt Zuma on 39 minutes. Could really do another one. Pope this time comes out and reaches it, punches it only as far as the edge of the penalty box. The ball's headed back in. Kurt Zuma has the ball. No, he doesn't. Loses out. Declan Rice has the ball now on the edge of the box. Plays it out to Cornet. To the left. Back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice looking for options. Plays it square to Soufal. Still in the centre for West Ham. Flynn Downs does really well now. Space for Bowen. Can he attack the box? Oh, it's a bit of a poor touch, but he comes inside. That's a free kick for West Ham. Now, I think that's outside the box. But now, if you watch that one again, Craig Pawson was not going to give that until the linesman's flag went up. He was going to play on there. And that looked like, let's have another look at this. I mean, the challenge is outside the box, but the challenge is by the substitute, Willock. It's a clear foul. He's left his foot hanging out there, and Bowen's gone over it. Now, how someone, how Pawson, who's only 15 yards away, can't see that, I don't know. But fortunately, the assistant referee has held his flag up, and Pawson's gone with that. But, he wasn't going to give it. I think he's had a really, really poor night tonight, Craig Pawson. It's easy to say that when your team's losing and blame the referee. I'm not blaming the referee for the way we're playing, but he's just had a really bad night, made poor decisions. Book players unnecessarily, perhaps not book players when he should have done. But anyway, West Ham have a free kick right on the edge of the box, about 6 yards out from the byline. And Bowen's had a shot, actually. I think he's shot. He's aimed for the far post. Kurt Zuma's tried to get up and get something on it, but he can't get there. I think he's actually shot from there. I've got a feeling Zuma might have been offside anyway, had he got anything on that. But anyway, comes to nothing. And that will go down as an effort on goal for West Ham, but not one on target. And it remains 3-1 to the visitors. We're just beginning to see a lot of the home fans, I'm assuming it's the home fans, make that journey back to Stratford Station. No surprise, not going to blame anyone for leaving early, not something I ever did. I think I might have left a home game once before the final whistle, but I'm not there on a cold Wednesday night as some of those supporters are tonight. I'm certainly not going to give them any grief or throw any shade in their direction for doing so tonight. Get back, get home, get the kettle on, get to bed. Start again tomorrow. AGXM says, I remember Mum driving through East Ham and loving the flags and decorations out. I knew we should have taken the A13. What's oh, okay. I was just wondering what that was in relation to, Mish, but I've just said we're talking about the 1980 Cup final. And yes, good day. I'll tell you my where I was in just a moment. We'll just see what develops from this. We're into the final 10 minutes, still 3-1. It's a bit like football tennis at the moment. Lots of headers going back and forth, and no team really getting anywhere. Naif Egered's on the ball, plays it short to Paquetá. He's going to look to get West Ham off again here. Nice little ball back from Ings. Can he play it into? Oh, he's looked for Cornet. I thought the better pass would have been the short one to Rice there. He went for the killer ball. Newcastle managed to prevent it from reaching Cornet, but West Ham have the ball back now. With Declan Rice inside Newcastle's half. It's out on the left to Emerson. It's a good tackle from Gordon. Wins it back there, the substitute. £45 million signing from Everton. Hasn't played an awful lot, has he, for Newcastle so far? Long ball, punted over the top. Fabianski reads it. Oh, Fabianski's made a howler. Oh, my gosh. And that is just, I don't believe it. We've done it again. And this time it's Fabianski. I don't think I've ever seen so many individual errors in one game. And this is beyond a joke now. This is beyond a joke. It's a hopeful punt over the top. Fabianski's he's done well. He's anticipated the ball over and he's come rushing out of his area to clear the ball instead of just putting a boot on it and sticking it out into touch or whatever, or just getting the ball away. I think he's tried to be a bit clever here, Fabianski. I know he's misread the ball. Let's have a look. Ball over the top. It's 2 against 1. Easy for West Ham. It's sort of hit him kind of like in the midriff here and bounced off at an angle. And the Newcastle players just gone, thank you very much. and hooked it into an empty net. It's Isaac, the substitute, and he's not even celebrating it. I think he's embarrassed. It's so easy. He's not even celebrated the goal. It's just shambolic, absolutely shambolic from West Ham, and now Fabianski's done it. I mean, I suppose the one good thing about this is that you don't, if you see one of these errors in a game, it's unfortunate. But to get what, four errors, every single Newcastle goal has come from a West Ham individual error. We have been the architects of our own downfall here tonight, and I'm laughing because I don't really know how else to react. I mean, you know, if you ran a Sunday League team of under eights, you'd be disappointed with these individual errors. You know, it's basics. It's football basics, and we've produced 4 of them tonight. And it's our experienced players. It's Fabianski, it's Agerd, it's Thilo Kehrer, it's Kurt Zuma, all established internationals. And then Newcastle looking for a fifth here. Played across the box by Joe Linton. No one coming in on the end of it. West Ham, we need to blow the whistle here. This is shambolic, absolutely shambolic from West Ham. And again, at fear of bringing it all upon myself again, none of this is down to the manager. It's all down to the players tonight. You can't pin this one on Moyes because he's been really badly let down, seriously, by his senior professionals. I mean, what the likes of Declan Rice and Lucas Paquetá must be thinking out there watching this. It's humiliating, actually, and it's almost like a watershed in the sense that it's a new low point for West Ham United. I mean, yeah, Newcastle are going well, but we've presented them with 4 goals. It's absolutely unbelievable. As I say, I don't think I've ever witnessed anything quite as poor as this from a team of players. It's stunning. Well, one thing's for sure, I think we can safely say that West Ham aren't coming back into this one now. There's 6 minutes to go, and it's 4-1 to the visitors who are about to make another substitution. I'm at a loss here. I'm really at a loss. The changes, let's have a quick look, see who's coming and who's going. For Newcastle, it's Dan Burn who's being replaced. And coming on is going to be Target for the last few minutes, for the last 5 minutes of the game. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Leonard Brooks says, I'm surprised Rice hasn't leathered it into our own net yet. AD Star says, it does make you wonder if relegation is on the cards. 10 men at the back, says every goal tonight is shambolic. Mark Pierce adding, we've lost because of stupid errors. Superstar Rajesh Khanna says, laughable jokers. And I don't know if he's talking about the rest of you guys on the stream or West Ham, but anyway. Hobo says, it looks like we've been drugged or something. And David O'Rourke says, I honestly don't think Newcastle have been much better than us. They just haven't made stupid mistakes and can finish when they get a chance. David, I make you absolutely right. I don't think there's been a lot between the teams. I mean, it's easy to say that when it's 4-1, you know, and it's so one-sided on the scoreline as this one is. But I don't think we've looked that bad tonight. We've had a go, but it just hasn't come off. And Jarrod Bowen thought he had a corner, but it's not. It's been given as a goal kick, which kind of sums up tonight. Yeah. Spencer Neal saying a few moments ago, hopefully we've had all our clangers for the rest of the season in this match. Yeah, as I say, Spencer, you know, if you see one mistake like this in a game, it's unusual to see 4 every single goal tonight. An individual error, goal 1, Thilo Kehrer. That started there, didn't it? And then no one picking up Callum Wilson. Goal 2. No one picking up the runner, Joe Linton. Goal 3. Naif Agerd just inexplicably giving the ball away on the edge of the box. And then Fabianski rushing out of his goal like a thing possessed, something we never see him do. And making a complete hash of it. Mankillo is on for Trippier for Newcastle. I think that's their 5th substitution for the evening. Anyway, it's job done for the Mags. Another 3 points for them. for West Ham. It's doesn't really change an awful lot, really, apart from makes our goal difference look that little bit worse. You know, it's a shame because it's a really good opportunity. So have we got something out of this? Even a point would have been a, you know, would have helped. But just it's shambolic. It's a shambles, and those players out there tonight need to take a good look at themselves. They really do, because as I said, it's the manager who's going to cop it for this tonight. But it's this one, you know, at risk of repeating myself, it is totally on the players. Totally on the players, this one tonight. Yeah. Free kick for Newcastle on the halfway line. Flynn Downs is going to go in the book. Craig Paulson's, he can't wait to get his book out and card the newcomer. There wasn't much in it either. Oh, he's a bit late. Perhaps he's tried to. Well, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of grabbed the player's shirt, so I guess you can understand it. But yeah. West Ham in attack. We one of the 2 minutes left of normal time. Flynn Downs giving the ball away unnecessarily and needlessly. And Newcastle now looking to spring a counter again on the right-hand side. Gordon wants it at the far post. He's desperate for the ball. Good tackle by Vladdy Soufal, but Newcastle still have the ball. This is shambolic. This is absolutely terrible. Terrible to watch. This is absolutely terrible. Craig Gordon's going to let one go. Good block by Paquetá. Brazilian's worked hard tonight, hasn't he? Hasn't always come off, but he's grafted. He's putting a shift out there, as has Declan Rice. The rest of them wouldn't give you tuppence for any of them, to be fair. Rest of that team out there tonight, absolutely shocking. Every single one of them, apart from those couple of players I've mentioned. Defence. I can't believe it. You know, you're looking at an Italian international, Moroccan international, a French international, and a German international, and they've contrived to give this game away, which is unbelievable. And also, this will be the first defeat with Moyes and not Moyes, with I'm flagging with Agerd and Zuma as a central defensive partnership in a four. Prior to now, they'd started 3 games with 1-2 and drawn 1. Here's another chance. Newcastle breaking again. Shot comes in. It's 5. Oh my gosh, it's 5. And West Ham are absolutely falling to pieces here. Absolutely falling to pieces. 90th minute. It's 5-1 to Newcastle. And I think now, what's going to be interesting, of course, is how the club react to this. West Ham will stay 15th in the table. Now, let's have a look at this. It comes from a West Ham attack again. It's Paquetá who loses the ball deep in enemy territory. It's a quick ball over the top. I think it's Joe Linton. And Joe Linton just goes around Zuma and plays the ball, as you should do as a striker, across the goalie into the other side. It's an easy goal. It's training ground stuff. Zuma's not got near him. Fabianski's made a bit of a hash of the save, to be fair. Joe Linton has a second. And it's 5-1 to Newcastle. And this is humiliating for West Ham. Absolutely humiliating. And you do kind of wonder, I mean, you know, people have talked about David Moyes' position. You do wonder if this sort of result might force someone in the ballroom to get a little bit jumpy, you know. Losing at home to Newcastle, a team challenging for the Champions League spots, isn't, you know, on the face of it, you know, a terrible thing. But to lose 5-1 in the manner which we have as well, which has been absolutely, as I say, it's humiliating. It's, you know, it's humiliating for West Ham. And it's been a while since we've gone down. Was it Man City who scored 5 here a couple of seasons ago on the opening day of the season? It's not often West Ham get thrashed like this at home, but this is a thrashing. Make no mistake about it. And something has got to give, because this is, you know, I'm lost for words. I think the only thing that's really going to potentially keep Moyes in a job after this is the fact that you can't attribute at least 4 of the 5 goals to the manager or the way he set the team out. I mean, you know, most of us would have picked a similar team coming into this. All right, you might have had Souček on the bench and Fornals in there or someone else, but maybe Ings for Antonio. But you know, by and large, I think we'd all have picked a very similar starting team and you know, tactical approach in terms of the way we're lining up. Anyway, it's just been undone. Long ball over the top. It's you know, Sam Allardyce would have loved this. It's like James Collins springing Andy Carroll every couple of minutes the way Newcastle play. They've clearly seen a weakness. Credit to Eddie Howe. He's clearly identified a weakness in West Ham's defence, and they've made the most of it. And West Ham just are a shambles of a football team at the moment. Players out there who just they don't seem to give a toss. I mean, you know, as I say, it's all right blaming the manager. You've got players who are making fundamental basic errors like that time after time after time. You know, you've got to point the finger. If you're going to criticise the manager, you've got to criticise the players who are responsible for those errors. Anyway, we're in the final of 4 minutes added on at the end of this half. We're extending the misery a little bit longer. And yeah, West Ham have got the ball down the right-hand side. Whacked out into touch. It's almost empty in the stands there. Most people have left. Manchester United still beating Brentford 1-0 in the other Premier League game taking place tonight. But yeah, just waiting for that final whistle. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens after this. Because this can't go on. This kind of performance can't be allowed to go on. Can't be allowed to happen. And something has to give. Something really has to give. To go out there and make those errors from the start, and it's been constant, hasn't it? Continuous. Terrible. There it is. There's the final whistle. There's no surprise as the boos are ringing out from who's left or whoever's left at the stadium. Not that many people. I'd say there's probably about, I guess 15, 20,000 at most left inside that stadium to greet the final whistle. And that's about it. West Ham's goal difference taking a bit of a hammering tonight, as it did against Brighton the other week. Well, no one's. I don't think any of us really fans it tonight, but I don't think anyone really saw that coming. Declan Rice looks absolutely distraught, and as I say, he's probably only one of only two players, him and perhaps Paquetá, who really put in any great effort. Oh, Jared Bowen tried, I suppose, grafted a bit, but there's no end product. The rest of them, I wouldn't give you 10p for the lot. Needs to take a good hard look at themselves if they think they're good enough to play for a club like West Ham United, because on this show they're most certainly not, and that's concerning to say the least. Anyway, I don't know about you lot, but I've had enough tonight, and I've got to go and start work now. I've got to go and write all about what's happened. It's all right for you lot. You can just switch the telly off and go to bed, or go and open a tinny. I've got to come right about it all now. Anyway, there you go. Wouldn't change it for the world. The opportunity to speak to you on a matchday basis and join in with you while we watch West Ham. Who can ask for more? That's about it for tonight. Ah, God. Here we go again. It's finished. West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 5. Callum Wilson 6 minutes. Joe Linton 12 minutes. Callum Wilson 46 minutes. Isaac 82 minutes, and Joe Linton 90 minutes scoring for Newcastle. West Ham getting a consolation goal, as it turned out 6 minutes before the break. We thought it might be a catalyst for a recovery, but in the end, it just turned out to be the beginning of something much worse to follow, as the visitors scored 3 times in the second half. Where do we go from now? Who knows? Well, we know where we're going from now. It's back to that relegation battle with 6 or 7 other teams. Thoroughly disappointing. Anyway, I'm done for tonight. That's it from us. Thank you all for your company. Really appreciate it, as always. Thanks for all all your comments as usual, which keep things ticking over nicely. Sorry, we couldn't make it more entertaining for you tonight. It's been pretty drab and disappointing overall, but there you go. Can't win them all. Back next week, as they say, and hopefully we'll have something to cheer about. Till then, everyone, take care and come on, you irons.